Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another edition of the Colgan Racing Experience. It's round number 6 here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. The first back-to-front challenge is on the line here tonight. We'll talk about it all in just a little bit. But we're so glad you could join us here on the Slide Job Racing Network YouTube channel, as well as the Colgan Racing Experience Facebook page. My name's Marty Sakala, and we are so glad that you could join us this evening. Well, in the last two races, one driver has dominated. I shouldn't say dominate. One race he dominated. The other one he got in late in the race, and that, of course, we're talking about Aaron Plemons. Plemons looking for the three-peat here this evening. He's in the Dropping Bombs number 57 machine as he looks for the 3 in a row. We also have on tap for you here this evening the back-to-front challenge. It's the first of two this evening. And for those wondering what the back-to-front challenge, how the back-to-front challenge works, heat winners will have the opportunity to start from the back and make their way up to the front. If a heat winner decides to go from the front row to the back row and then they win, they'll win a $50 bonus. The only things that come into play: you cannot have 33X, and you cannot have 2 strikes in this one. So that's how everything's going to work here this evening. And we are looking forward to a great show here. Qualifying currently underway at the moment. 1 more minute before we go racing. And quickest driver on track is Steele Langford with a 15.84. Langford in the number 16 this evening as he is back in his, he has given up the 17. Kendrick Cryer has returned. Last time we saw him was the dramatic moment in Richmond when Cryer intentionally took out Aaron Raymond to get the job done. So everyone has taken at least a lap here so far with about 30 seconds left in qualifying. Let's review the qualifying times at the moment. And it's Langford quickest at a 15.84 by a couple hundredths on Kyle Johnson, making his first start in the 95. Kendrick Cryer third quick, 15.86. Kenny Tripp is fourth quick, 15.87. Stephen Rex rounds out the top 5. Rex has a 15.87. As always, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Enfuse Clips is watching. Thanks for joining us. He's rooting for one of the Kyles out there, either Johnson or Martin or Kyle Bartos, etc. So here's how the night's going to work. 2 heats this evening at Oxford with the car count. This will determine the inside lineup for the feature this evening. Here's how it works. And on the pole position, Steele Langford, we just mentioned, he's in the number 16. His lap time, a good one, 15.840, 14 thousandths better than Kendrick Cryer, who's back in the number 17. Row number 2, it's Stephen Rex in car number 13. He starts next to the 57 of Aaron Plemons. Row number 3, it's Matt Pelletier, who's in car number 27. Next to him, the 33 of Clay Bellamy. Row number 4, it's the 51 of Edmund Jones. Next to the 18 of McRecken in Kyle Martin. Bringing up the rest of the grid here. Row number 5, Travis Sukup in car number 45. Next to him, Ethan Brewster, who has switched numbers. He's in the 78 this evening. Row number 6, it's Stephen Whiten in car number 28. Next to Nick Jazaboski in the 82. Rounding out the field on the grid this evening for Heat 1, Johnny B. John Brancaccio in car number 62. Going green here this time by for action here at Oxford. And again, so glad you could join us on the Slide Job Racing Network for this one. Who's going to start on pole or even possibly take the opportunity to go for the back-to-front challenge? We're about to find out. But heat race number 1 underway here at Oxford. Cryer, door to door into turn number 3. Both moves always possible here as they stay side by side. It's Langford that leads lap number 1. 57, Aaron Clemens took a peek underneath. Hop that curb. Got to be very careful to hop the curb there. You want to stay away from it. If you hop it, could lose control of the race car and send you around, but you don't want to go deadlock towards it. If it's a bullseye, good chances are that you'll cook the engine. Just had a crash a couple moments ago that involved Stephen Wetton and Nick Jazoboski. They have moved to the back of the field for right now. Langford has Cryer and Clemens clear. Gives us a quick opportunity with 7 laps to go in heat race number 1 to show you what happened to the driver of the 28 and the 82. This is coming off turn number 2. And Ryan simply just got to 78 and then clips. Jazoboski, Brancaccio also involved. He kept it straight but went off the racetrack. Quickest driver on track at the moment is Matt Pelletier in the 27, a 16-second lap time currently. Drivers improving on their lap times at the moment. Kendrick Cryer in that 3rd spot, 16:06. John Brancaccio gets out of the way of the leaders. Now you see the 57 of Clemens, who was all over Langford for that top spot. There's the onboard from the rear end of the 50 of the 16. Clemens gives him the Bristol bump and run. Up the track goes Langford. Aaron Clemens looks for the race lead. New leader at the line with 3 to go. Langford looks to fight back in that number 16, but he's got a challenge from Cryer in the 17. Cryer takes away 2nd. Rex underneath for the 3rd spot. 2 laps to go and heat race number 1. Low line, the preferred line here at the moment, early on at the Oxford Plains Raceway. But now Cryer against Clemens for the Heat 1 win. 1 lap to go. Who's going to have the opportunity to go from the back to the front? Who wants a chance at $50 Bailey? Cryer gives Clemens the bumper. Clemens, oh my goodness, Clemens gets Kendrick Cryer. Stephen Rex right out of nowhere is going to steal Heat 1. Oh my goodness. Well, that just made things interesting. Kendrick Cryer felt the need for greed, and he got a little bit too greedy. Stephen Rex takes it. We got to show you that finish one more time. We're going to ride on board here. Bear with us. We have to use the iRacing user interface because we can't replay back to the spot when there's a new session. Cryer just got in the back of the 57. And as, oh my goodness, Kendrick Cryer with absolutely nowhere to go. Both nowhere to be seen. And Stephen Rex says, thank you very much, boys and girls. Now it'll be very interesting to see if he decides to take the opportunity to take the money to go from the back to the front. We'll know his decision at the end of heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, let's give you the starting lineup for that. Kyle Johnson starts on the pole position. He lines up next to the 52 of the helmet in Kenny Tripp. Row number 2, it's Chubb Shockley, who is in the number 93, and next to him, Billy Snodgrass in the 99. Row 3, Blake Wynn making his first start with us this year. Blake is in the number 74. Next to him, Billy Snodgrass in car number 99. Row number 4, Justin Potter in the number 37. And next to him, it's the 10 of Aaron Raymond. Pardon me, next to him, the 39, or the 199, I should say, driven by Jason Snodgrass. Rest of the field looks like this. Rounding out the top 10, Brandon Kiger in car number 85. Next to him is Andrew Thornton in the number 14. Row number 6, Jackson McLean, who was in car number, actually no call for him to grid in the 81. Kyle Bartels next to him. Edmund Jones rounds out the field. Ready for heat race number 2, underway here at Oxford. Johnson gets away with the jump, immediately has Kenny Tripp and Chubb Shockley cleared. Shockley led the opening laps of the feature last week at Michigan National Speedway. He edges out Tripp for the second spot, while Johnson leads lap number 1. Shockley a little bit sideways off at turn number 2. Keep in mind the street stocks with cold tires, so gotta be careful on quarter exit, but Shockley hits the curb. That's something else you gotta be careful about, and hard in the wall goes the 10 of Raymond. Raymond with heavy right side damage. Another car gets sideways in front. I believe it was the 37 of Potter. We stay green with Kyle Johnson commanding the troops all at bay. And let's show you another angle of this accident. Watch Chubbs in that 93. You see he hits the curbing. No bumper from behind. Right there. Hits the curbing. The car freaks out. That's a big hit for the 10 of Raymond. No yellows in these heat races as well. That would be a yellow in a feature. Quickest car into the racetrack though at the moment. The 99 of Billy Snodgrass at a 16.04 all over the back bumper of Blake Wynn. It's a 3-car battle for the 2 spot. You see Blake Wynn does have damage in the back of that 74. Expect every street stock to get hit from the rear end tonight. It's a 4-car battle for this win. Kenny Tripp looks to join the battle, but went really high off of turn number 2. Still not giving up here with 3 laps to go, but it's Kyle Johnson out in front by about 2.5 car lengths on Blake Wynn, feeling really comfortable about where he is right now. Two laps to go. Teammates racing for second. They'll probably stay where they are. Come off of turn number 4. White flag in the air for Kyle Johnson. 1 lap to go in car number 95. And he's sneaking his way forward to a Heat 2 victory. Here he comes through 3 and 4. Kyle Johnson takes the Heat win from the pole. Blake wins second. Billy Snodgrass third. Kenny Tripp fourth. Brandon Kiger fifth. And the rest of the cars on the lead lap. But Kyle Johnson, your Heat 2 winner. Gonna step aside here and mute the mic. We do have some news though. Steven Rex is going for the $50 bonus. He'll start from the rear. That puts Steele Langford on the pole position. We'll step aside. Feature is coming up next here on Slide Job Racing Network. All right, everyone, we are ready to go racing for our 175 lap feature at the Oxford Plains Raceway. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. Now remember, Stephen Rex, your pole sitter officially for today, but he is taking the back to front challenge. $50 on the line for him if he can win this evening. That moves Steele Langford up to the pole, and next to him it's the 95 of Kyle Johnson. Row number 2, Matt Pelletier in the number 27, and next to him is the 74 of Blake Wynn. Row number 3, it is Kyle Martin, and next to him is the 99 of Billy Snodgrass. Then in row number 4, it's Travis Sukup in the 45. Next to him is Kenny Tripp in the 52. Row number 5, rounding out the top 10 this evening, Clay Bellamy in car number 33. Next to Brandon Kiger, he is in the 85. And then he moved to row number 6 on the grid. It's Edmund Jones in the 51. Next to him is Jason Snodgrass in the 199. Row number 7, it's Ethan Brewster in the 78. Next to Justin Potter in the 37. Row 8, Nick Jazoboski in the 82. Next to him, Kyle Bartles in the 88. And then row number 9, you have Kendrick Cryer in the 17. Andrew Thornton in the 14. Row number 10, it's Aaron Plemons in the 57 and Edmund Jones in the 38. Row number 11, Stephen Whiten in the 28 and Chubb Shockley in the 93. Row number 12, John Brancaccio in the 62, Aaron Raymond in the 10. Rounding out the field from row number 13, it's Stephen Rex and Jackson McLean. 175 laps here around Oxford Plains Raceway. We're looking forward to a good one. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, because it's showtime of the back to front challenge. Steele Langford came in as the 17th points leader, leads lap number 1. Trouble further back, Kyle Bartles also involved. John Brancaccio, first yellow flag of the day, is out. Edmund Jones in the 38 also collected. Have to take a look at a replay and show you what happened. I think it started with the 82 of Nick Jazoboski. We'll show you what happened here in just a moment, and let's pull up the replay right now. So in the back of the field here, a lot of checking up as expected, a lot of bumper cars happening. Stack up in front, 78 car got loose first to Ethan Brewster, and his drivers were trying to avoid it. Right there's the contact between a dropping bomb race car along with Jazoboski and Bartles, and there you see Edmund Jones also caught up in it. There across the start finish line. Let's round over with Nick Jazoboski. Apparently we had something else with Stephen Whiten and Justin Potter after the yellow came out. Let's see what happened here. They were just coming to a slow stop. I think that is the case. All right, so the field's doubled up after our first yellow of the day. We're set to come back to green. Stephen Rex running in the 19th position here. And we'll keep an eye on him throughout the day today. Langford and Pelletier make up the front row. Length for the control car. We're back to green on lap 7. Kyle Martin takes away the second spot. The outside row here at Oxford. No man's land here from what we've seen so far. Matt Pelletier starts to lose some ground, trying to get to that low side as quick as he can, as Martin takes the Edwards High Performance number 18 into the 2 spot. Kyle Johnson underneath for the 3rd position. Let's see if he can take the position away. Wow, Blake Quinn rounds out the top 5. One rolling around the lowest part of the racetrack as possible. Win with a run for the 4th position. Take that and make it look easy. But now Billy Snodgrass with a chance to round out the top 5. His driver on track at the moment is that number 16 of Langford, as he commands the troops at bay with the 18 of Kyle Martin right behind him in that Toyota Supra. Quickest driver last time by at a 16:03. That's the best lap of the race. As always, let us know who you're rooting for on YouTube. A lot of Kyle Johnson fans in the house. Taking a look on Facebook. Haven't seen anyone yet on the Facebook chat. Let's go to the best battle on the racetrack, and there you see Matt Pelletier in the 27, who is still losing ground at the moment. Now finds a hole behind Clay Bellamy, so he falls from 2nd down to 8th on that restart. Now with the drivers here as they roll through on the racetrack, it's now a game of patience. Try and just hope while you roll around the bottom of this racetrack, you just hope that your opponent in front of you makes a mistake or even hits that curbing. Closest race we have on the track is the race for 11th. Brandon Kiger in front of Jason Snodgrass, Chubb Shockley, Kendrick Cryer. With that 17 car number, the points leader entering today in the 14th position. 3 cars behind him, Steven Rex in the 17th spot. You saw Cryer and Shockley both look underneath. Oh, we got one sideways. It's Kiger. Kiger goes for a spin onto the pit lane. No caution. We stay green. Likely will get the black flag cleared because he was spun onto the pit lane. And there is no pit wall here at the Oxford Plains Raceway. Top 2, meanwhile, have started to pull away just a bit from Kyle Johnson. And that 95 could set up a battle possibly for the 3rd spot in just a bit. Kenny Tripp running in that 6th position. Clay Bellamy in 7th. Biggest mover of this race is the driver in 8th, Aaron Clemens, who started from 21st after getting turned on the final lap of heat race number 1. He's made his way up to 8th. He's looking for the 3-peat here tonight at Oxford. Let's go back and watch that race for the 3rd position with Blake Wynn, as he just continues to stay all over that back bumper of the 95. Digging for a ride on board with him on the racetrack. Pop up the dashboard on your screen. You see 3rd gear for the driver of the 74. Open setups here, so all depends on the gear ratio you want. You can go with 3rd gear or you can go with 4th gear. We guarantee you this, you do not have that wheel straight one bit here tonight. Just smooth arches here around this racetrack. Here's a run for Wynn underneath, and Johnson barely, no! Wynn forces it in there, and he gets loosey-goosey, almost turned by his teammate of Billy Snodgrass, and Billy up to that quarter panel for the 4th position. And now Wynn starts to fall into some no man's land here. Kenny Tripp underneath. That's the race for that 5th position going down into turn number 3. Man, that could have been a whole lot worse for Ware, but luckily did not turn too major. Now watch Clemens here in that 57 too, as he tries to make his way up once again, up 15 spots to 6th. Now just imagine if he would have won this, one heat race number 1. He would have easily taken the back to front challenge, because he would have made up a lot of ground, that's for sure. Update on Stephen Rex at number 13. He has not made up a lot of ground. He is in 16. He's behind his teammate Aaron Raymond, who knows how to make his way up through the field. Kendrick Cryer, meanwhile, side by side with Jason Snodgrass for the 11th spot. Remember, a couple laps ago, they nearly got involved in that incident with Brandon Kiger, excuse me. And so Cryer moves up into 11th with Chubb Shockley behind him. And 0.7 of a second behind, or in front, I should say, is that dropping bombs number 45 of Travis Suka. 28 laps in the books here at the moment. Steele Langford has led every lap so far today. Kyle Johnson runs in that third position. Billy Snodgrass, I don't know what he's thinking inside that race car at the moment. Has a chance, almost got up to that quarter panel, but you don't. But shallow entries, a lot riskier than a track like, say, last week at Michigan International Speedway. A shallow entry can easily lead to an accident. First time here this evening, we start to see lap traffic as a factor. Langford approaching the back bumper of the 78 of Ethan Brewster, last car in the lead lap. Actually, the first guy the leaders will deal with is the 88 of Kyle Bartels. Also have Edmund Jones and Brewster in there too. Now, the one thing the leader does not want to see in front of him is two back markers that are side by side for a position. Run again for Billy Snodgrass underneath Brandon Kiger. Blinking here, and he reports that he's blinking, and he hops the curb once again. That's just costing him time as he's trying to rebound from his spin. Luckily kept the 85 on the lead lap, but he's all the way back in 21st. There you see Langford off of turn number 4, starts to approach Kyle Bartels. This could make the race for the lead interesting, but the race for third just got interesting as Billy Snodgrass takes third from Kyle Johnson, and Johnson stuck on the second groove. Not the groove you want to be on right now, especially when you got 3 cars behind you that are down low, line of position. Let's win up to that quarter panel, the race for the 6th spot. So Langford approaches the back of the 38 of Edmund Jones. Wants him to get out of the way. Kyle Bartels has already gotten out of the way of the top 2 that have pulled away. Martin and Snodgrass, the delta between them, 0.8 of a second at the moment. Ooh, and a close call between the leader and the 38 of Edmund Jones. Just got a report that Justin Potter has spun in turn number 3. He backs the car up, get out of harm's way, and he merges onto the apron. Smart move from the driver of the number 37. Get a brief look and show you what happened there. He get turned off the bumper of the 81. Yes, he did. And just about hops that hill. The driver of the 81, that is Jackson McLean. So with the lap traffic being a factor, third place driver Billy Snodgrass has been able to close in on the top 2 for the race lead. Change for 9th, Kendrick Cryer past Matt Pelletier, and Pelletier has been fading since the restart, and most of it was because he was stuck on the second groove for a while on the restart. So Cryer moves the number 17, leading in owner points. The 9th spot, but we go to the 2nd spot. Billy Snodgrass with a run on Steele Langford. Can Langford find a hole in front of the 52 of Kenny Tripp? It's going to be tight and close. Kenny sideways, and he'll let Langford have it. Tripp probably thinking if he does that next time, I'm turning the 16 around possibly. Tripp, who started from 8th position, he's moved up to 4th as we've put 44 laps on the board. And we do have a new leader in Kyle Martin. So that's the first lead change of the day, out how we were watching that race for the top spot. And let's show you how Martin got past Steele Langford. Langford got in the back of Edmund Jones, and Kyle Martin just drives around the outside. Langford was not happy, so he decided, you know what, I'm done. I'm taking Edmund Jones for a ride. And he had to let off, and it just cost him a lot of momentum. And so Langford falls back into the 3rd position. Pardon me there. Now Billy Snodgrass looks for a run for the race lead to ride on board. Oh, they touch! Billy into the quarter panel of Kyle Martin. Martin has to stay on the 2nd groove for the lead. Martin trying to lead Snodgrass all over that curbing. And Billy Snodgrass, the 2nd lead change of the day. Martin tries to throw the chrome horn and try the reverse move. This is a wild one. Top 9 drivers under a blanket for this race late here at Oxford. One around, that's the 0 of Andrew Thornton. This is such a good race going on right here, right now. Half a straightaway away from lap traffic. I believe it would be Brandon Kiger the leaders would approach. Just get a brief look here from Kyle Martin. Nope, that's actually the 82 of Nick Jazoboski. Top 2 now back in 2nd and 3rd. And does Langford want to get by and move back into that 2nd position is the question. Aaron Clemens has made his way into 5th. Tried to look underneath for 4th on Kenny Tripp, but he shuts the door right in his face. That number 57 who's looking for the 3-peat. Nice run on corner exit. Looks on that quarter panel of Kenny Tripp, and Tripp just really shuts the door. Clemens hits the curb just for a moment. Run underneath for Langford on Martin for the 2 spot. Just barely touched that bumper. And Steele Langford moves up into 2nd. And all that racing is allowing Billy Snodgrass to open up a gap. Biggest lead we have seen so far today for anyone. 0.6 of a second on Steele Langford. So a Snodgrass, Langford, Martin, Tripp, Clemens, Wynn, Bellamy, Cryer, Johnson, and Pelletier. Top 10. Update on your back to front challenge driver, Steven Rex. He's right in 14th. And the problem with Aaron Clemens stacked up. The field accordions as he's sideways. Nice save for the 57, but he falls all the way back to 11th. And lap traffic may have been a factor with Bartles in the 88. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Clemens just got Kenny Tripp. Helps Kenny save it, and as Clemens is just loosey-goosey. So it was just simply contact that did it. Luckily, everyone saved it, but now we don't have a Caterpillar of drivers from 2nd through 7th. Instead, it's a Caterpillar of drivers 4th through 9th or 10th, I guess you could say. And now, because of that, as that was the race for the 4th spot at the time, Kyle Martin and Steele Langford have pulled away from that battle and are racing just the track here at the moment. But now you see Snodgrass has Jazoboski in the way, which could slow him up for just a bit. The 82 moves up to that 2nd groove. So Snodgrass onto that race lead. There you see, guess what you consider it. It's like I'm trying to think what they call an F1. I can't remember. A DRS train. So it's a train as a whole, led by Blake Wynn, who has moved into the 4th position. Chubb Shockley in the 10th spot. Clemens has faded back to 11th. And Stephen Rex has also lost a couple spots. So he is down into the 14th spot. Aaron Raymond on his outside. Back to that race for 4th, the best race on the track, but it is between a pair of teammates. And Blake Wynn and Clay Bellamy, new scheme on the driver of the 33 this week. But how about the run for Kendrick Cryer that he's got going? It's taking advantage of mishaps in front of him. And currently scored in position number 6. Another thing to keep in mind here as well, drivers have 6 sets of tires. That's 5 sets available in the pits plus the one that the drivers have started on. Only have seen 3 drivers make a pit stop. Those drivers are Stephen Wetton, Nick Jazoboski, and Kyle Bartles after being involved in the first yellow flag of the day. Don't know if we were to expect a long run enough where it would warrant a pit stop. There is not really a fuel limit. However, though, tires could be a possible factor here tonight as we work on lap number 70. Langford, though, got to give him credit. He has been able to close in on that lead on the driver of the number 16. Let's bring up the time delta. So watch that there as one of the dropping bombs drivers get out of the way. Here's a look at the time delta in the last 10 laps and just show you how that lead has closed down. When you compare the lap times, there's Snodgrass, but here's a look at Steele Langford. Better car at the moment. But long, and there's some contact there with Kiger, who gets Langford. Langford runs off the racetrack and is spun, and the second yellow flag is out, which ends a 70-lap long run. So the driver that put the 17 in front of the points coming into today involved in the second yellow of the race with Brandon Kiger. That's a shame for him. Watch aerial shot, give you a better idea on what happened. That was afterwards, and we are seeing drivers make the pit stop. Leader got in the back of the 85. So that is what triggered everything, and Kiger had a heavy lift in it all. Just right on board with him. We do have leaders in the pits. That was on board with the driver of number 85. Here's Langford. A tough break for him. And the second place driver in Kyle Martin. Let's watch him. He sees that, he's probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me. So a couple of drivers making the pit stop here. Blake Wynn pits on lap 74, an 11-second stop for him. And remember, this is a place at Oxford where you'll see 2 pit stops, a stop for tires and a stop for fuel, just because how quick lap times are under caution. This is a track as well that features 2 pit roads, one out front and one out back. Look closely here as the leaders come off of turn number 2. Here you see the second pit road for the drivers that started in the back of the field. That's why they say during warm-ups, it's just meant to find you pit stall. There is the pit road where the leaders started. All right, so we're coming back to the green with under 100 laps to go. It's Aaron Raymond, the new leader, who is yet to pit. Behind everyone has 75 laps of fresher tires. Run from Blake Whiffley. Oh, look out, somebody upside down. Big wreck, and it involves Kendrick Cryer. And Edmund Jones also spins in some extracurricular activity. And it stacks the field up. That, I believe, was Matt Pelletier who crashed. Somebody, though, went a lot of feet up in the air. I think it was this car here, the 33 of Clay Bellamy. But this just got wild. Get a better look and show you what happened here to trigger this yellow. Leaders coming off turn number 2. Let's see here. Ooh, Kyle Martin trying to enter in with his apex, just hits the 33, and Bellamy hits the hill and gets Kendrick Cryer. That's the one thing about Oxford that gets a little bit people nervous. If a car hits one of those sand hills, it can get crazy. Watch this in real time. What an angle that is. A couple onboards here. We'll begin with Kendrick Cryer, the car that's the points leader in the 17. Man, imagine what it's like having a car on top of you. This one should be interesting right here. Up and over he goes. And final one we'll watch is Matt Pelletier. What's that angle like? Some nice camera shots courtesy by Track Cams by Gourmet. So third caution comes out as we work lap number 84 of this race. As we're back to the green, new leader, it's Blake Wynn. And a pair of dropping bomb cars race for second. Aaron Clements and Aaron Raymond. Nice rebound from Clements after he got loose in that long run, which put him outside the top 10. But he made contact with Kenny Tripp. Bringing back the third spot on worn out tires, on his starting tires. Chubb Shockley fourth, Travis Sukup rounds out the top 5. Those wondering who Steve Rex is in car number 13. He is in the 8th position. Oh, we got one sideways and a big stack up. That's Raymond, another car involved. In turn 4, 2 more cars involved, I should say. In turn number 4, and the yellow flag comes out. Check on those guys. I believe one of them was Edmund Jones, the number 38, who is sliding, trying to get his ride back going. And let's see if this was it. Gonna watch here in real time. Oh man, big check up there. Jazoboski gets the 38. So that was not the cause for yellow. Then what was? Wasn't there a stack up here with Raymond? Ah, here we go. It was right here. Kyle Martin Gets into, I believe that's Justin Potter in the dropping bombs right. He's got no number on his scheme, which he needs a number. And so they all came to a stop. But then something happened in front. I think it was with Billy Snodgrass. Nope, this was flowing up to a yellow flag. I think it was with Aaron Raymond in the 10. Or was it with Clemens? Let's rewind the footage here as fast as we can. So we're back in real time here now. Watching the TV2 shot. I think it had to do with Raymond. Johnny sideways in the turn number 3. And then gets a bumper from the 93. And there's Jason Snodgrass. Blake Wynn nearly collected. That's what sent the 10 spinning into the pits for fresh tires. So there's a lot to digest in that fourth caution of the day. So should go 1 to green here next time by. While we are at it, next week, we are at Bristol Motor Speedway. Start time 7:45 p.m. on Slide Job Racing Network and the CRX Facebook page. We're ready for the green flag. It is Blake Wynn and Aaron Clemens to bring us back to the green. Serve the 57 immediately cuts down to maintain control of the second spot. Clemens looked low for a moment. Wynn cuts him off. Steven Rex in a 3-wide situation. Hang on there, Kenny Trepp. Rex is sideways in the 13. Can he save it? He can. And we go to yellow flag once again. And it is a demolition derby here at the Oxford Plains Raceway after that long run. 52 is caught up in this. And he doesn't look like he's too happy with somebody. Trying to see if he's going up to that 13. He goes past, I think he's going back to take his spot. Oh yeah, there you just see it. The cluster, you know what, Pelletier also involved. Man, oh man, let's watch Kyle Martin's on board here. Decides to go a little to miss it, and unfortunately they come down low. He has right front damage. Keep in mind in this series too, no quick repairs. No quick repairs in this series, so whatever damage is what you're going to deal with for the rest of the event. So still with 2 laps to go. You just saw the logo on your screen as well. Give a shout out to Advanced Powder Coating, based out in Illinois. Definitely a great company. We definitely recommend checking them out. Provide you some more details on them. But yeah, Advanced Powder Coating. Service in Rockdale that can make your metal products look new again, from doors to rims to hinges and more. Get a quote today by calling 815-671-7026. All right, coming back to green this time by. Blake Wynn, Aaron Clemens, row 1. Billy Snodgrass, Travis Sukup, row 2. Edmund Jones, Kyle Martin, row 3. Stephen Rex, Stephen Wetton, row 4. Rounding off the top 10, Matt Pelletier and Jason Snodgrass. Coming back to green here. Working lap number 100 here at Oxford. Nearly 3 wide in turn number 2, but it's Blake Wynn who takes the lead. Billy Snodgrass up to second. Clemens wants to try and find a hole in front of Edmund Jones to take third, which he does. We go back to caution flag, though, and it's for Jackson McLean in the number 81. So the Wonder Boy involved in this yellow flag, and let's take a look and show you what happened to him. So they're approaching the restart. The wreck happens in turns 1 and 2. See if he gets into the 33 of Bellamy. Nope, Kiger got on the back of him. Man, it has not been Kiger's day today, that's for sure. Brancaccio barely escapes. Look in real time. Kiger fan cam. There you see Kiger gets the 81. Bellamy, gotta give him credit as well. Despite hitting the curb, he makes a terrific save. This is the onboard here. So let's know your thoughts on this race here so far. World revs up. The saying it's a wreck fest. It definitely has been for the last few weeks. Or the last few races, I'm sorry. Or, no. Last few laps. Sorry. Getting my words messed up. Enfuse Clip says, so many wreck cars, they got to go single file. Is that normal? I'll have to check the rule book here, Enfuse Clips. I don't believe there is a rule that says single file restarts, but obviously our race director tonight, Robert Colgan, has the right to change anything. And did he just change it up to go single file? I think he listened to race control. Well, Infused Clips, you got your wish. We're going single file here for this restart. With all the caution flags, see if we can get another long run that could give us another double file restart. We'll see. It's been eye-pacing for the last 20 laps or so. 30 laps as here's a run underneath for Clemens. Forces his way through Billy Snodgrass to take the 2 spot. Snodgrass wants to put the bumper back on the 57. Remember, Clemens is looking for a 3-peat. Just had Stephen Wetton run his best lap of the day at a 16:15. In front of him is the back-to-front challenge driver of Stephen Rex, who is in the 7th position. Race for 5th, Kyle Martin, who led some laps in this race earlier on tonight. He moves to 5th, and we have a new quickest lap of the night, belonging to Billy Snodgrass at a 16:02. Now, could we see somebody possibly break into the 15-second range? We'll just have to see. Clemens has a mere full of that number 99. And Jones in the 4th spot. Just set his best lap of the day. 16:13, and there it is. Billy Snodgrass with the payback bumper. Clemens, man, really loose into turn number 1. You're going to do that, I'll do it back to you. And Clemens still with some Tokyo drift off for 2. And that has just opened up a 1-second lead for Blake Wynn in the 74. The biggest lead that we have seen today by anyone. So, you know, Clement's not going to be happy, very frustrated at that. He's still your biggest mover, though, started in 21st and runs in the 3rd spot. Kyle Martin against Edmund Jones for 4th, as they have been closing in on the 3rd place guy. Martin's trying to tell Edmund Jones, come on, let's go. Remember, Edmund was involved in an incident earlier on tonight. Martin's still over that 51 bumper. Leaders approach lap traffic. As we work lap number 116. We've yet to do it tonight, but we're going to take an opportunity to shut up so you can hear all the engines. And we're going to crank it up here at the Oxford Plains Raceway, just so you can listen. See Rex in that 7th spot. Oh, we got trouble. Stephen Wett and Jason Snodgrass. And they're off the track in turn number 3. The 7th caution of the day is out. And look out. Jezavoski nearly hits him. And let's take a look and show you what happened between the 28 and the 199. Kendrick Cryer seemed to be also a part of this. We do have the leaders all pitting. They just simply touched down the back chute. Kendrick Cryer with a double kill and a hard hit for Jason Snodgrass into that outside wall. Watch in real time here. Watch this as Kendrick is just behind all of this. Bam. Right on board here with Jason. Pounded the safer bear. I'm sorry, pounded the fender. And let's go to Stephen Wetton. Luckily, no damage. Jason Snodgrass caught the worst of it. So drivers in the pits. A lap 120. Advantage of fresh tires. And top 6 drivers did not pit. Top 7 drivers, I should say, did not pit. So that gives Aaron Clemens the race lead. And once again, reminder, he is looking for the 3-peat here tonight. All right, we're set to come back to green with 51 laps to go. Clemens brings them down. As he holds serve, Stephen Rex, the back to front challenger for the 2nd spot on his teammate. Don't be surprised if Sukup lets him go, because what Rex has on the line, that's $50. comes Raymond in the 10, who has pressured tires on the top 3 by about 14 laps. Could make it interesting. Also a DBR teammate. In fact, dropping bomb drivers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Matt Pelletier in 5th. It looks like Talladega here off the turn 4. Double file racing with the DBR drivers holding everybody up. Raymond moves to 3rd. And Stephen Rex is up to the 2 spot. Here's a good look from an aerial shot. This is wild. Oh, man, Blake Wynn. That hole just was not there. Between the 0 and the 52, it's 3 wide once again. Billy Snodgrass this time, stuck in the middle. Man, oh man, this is getting intense. Caution on lap 130. Justin Potter and Ethan Brewster, from what we are hearing. There's the number 37. Look at what happened. See where Ethan is. Got clipped from Edmund in that 51. Ooh, and there's Ethan right there. Let's right on board here with Justin. Right there. Man, that's tough. All right, let's go to Ethan Brewster. Tried to miss it, and he goes off course. And so working our 8th caution with under 45 laps to go. The laps are starting to wind down. World revs up, rooting for Plemons in the chat, or says good luck, Plemons. See, lights are still on. The iRacing pace car at the moment. While we're at it, Slide Job Racing Network is your home for iRacing leagues. If you want a league series or a special event and you want exposure, go to slidejobраcingnetwork.weebly.com and click on the broadcast inquiries forum. SJRN offering quality broadcasts at a good price. So Aaron Plemons has climbed from 21st to 1st. Stephen Rex has climbed from 26th to 2nd. Aaron Raymond has climbed from 24th to 3rd. Top 4 drivers, all DBRs. We're set to come back to the green. Rex clears the 3rd and 4th place drivers in Raymond and Pelletier. That's Raymond underneath for that 3rd spot. It's the 2nd time tonight. Pelletier stuck on the 2nd group on a restart. In the jam session, 3 wide behind them with the 93 of Shockley, so that was stuck in the middle for just a second. Back in the 11th spot. Look out, Raymond just went around in the 10. And also, one other driver sideways, up in the air. That's the 33. And that was Clay Bellamy. Remember, he flipped earlier on tonight. That allows Stephen Rex to get away. And here's a run for Kyle Martin underneath on Matt Pelletier for 3rd. Mick Ruckin moves up to the 3 spot on lap 138. Steele Langford has crashed it. We go to caution. Langford running in 22nd position. And Clay Bellamy, from the sounds of it, may have been involved as well. 2nd accident for Langford today. Remember the 1st accident, he was running in the 2nd position. He has fallen ways back after repairing that machine. Underneath Chubb Shockley, not for position on the track. Ooh, Shockley hooks him head on into the wall. Another driver was caught up in that. of the dropping bomb rides. Better view from this angle here. See, they touched in turn number 4. Just like it. There's the yellow flag, and right there, oh man! It was Potter, I believe, that went up in the air. Now we also had this with Aaron Raymond. This was before the yellow that we were talking about. Martin gets into him. Raymond goes for a slide. Luckily doesn't spin it out. And there you see the 33 of Bellamy, who barely makes the save. So, a couple of drivers pitting under that caution flag. Clemens, Raymond, Tripp, and Brewster making stops. And this gives the lead to Steven Rex on lap 74, who pitted on lap 74 rather. And we have under 35 laps to go. Kyle Martin behind him in that 18. A lot fresher tires by just under 50 laps. And this is a double file restart on lap 142. Remember, if Steven Rex wins this race, he gets a $50 bonus. So lap 143, row number 1, Steven Rex, Kyle Martin, Matt Pelletier, Kendrick Cryer, row 2, Blake Wynn, Kyle Johnson, row 3, Andrew Thornton, Travis Sukup, row 4, Stephen White, and Edmund Jones round out the top 10. We come back to the green with just over 30 laps to go. Watch Martin. Oh, Pelletier goes around. In front of traffic, 360, oh, look out. Back to the caution flag, and we're still wrecking further back. Jazoboski, a junkyard around this entire facility. I saw a dropping bomb car hit that same hill that Bellamy hit, but luckily did not go over. We're having a Pelletier, who restarted in that 3rd position. Blake Wynn got in the back of him. And then it was the 57 of Clemens that went for a wild ride. Will you rewind the footage, please? Thank you. Watch this. Man, how that car did not flip, I don't know. Wrap over with a couple of drivers here. Here's Pelletier on the restart. And you know, Matt's going to be furious about that deal. We also had Nick Jazoboski in the aftermath. Watch this. Wreck's already happening. Trying to avoid it. He got clipped from behind and sent him around. Man, that pickle just has not had a good night tonight. Yeah, I guess it has not found its burger or sandwich. Alrighty. So this should be a single file restart with 26 to go, and it will be. With Steven Rex commanding the troops, our 10th caution of the day here at the Oxford Plains Raceway. iRacing pace car is in. Rex the control car for this restart. Field behind them all with fresher tires. This is going to be a long 26 laps for Steven Rex. Kyle Martin second, Kendrick Pryor in third. 17 car looking for its third win of the season, all with Pryor behind the wheel. Here goes Martin underneath the lead. Kenny Tripp just set the quickest lap last time by, first 15-second lap of the day. New race leader though, Kyle Martin, but here comes Kendrick Pryor. Rex falls back to the third position. And now let's see what the 17 can do with 10 laps of fresher rubber. "23 laps to go. Look at this single file line here at the moment. Could get interesting here with Cryer. Watch closely. Caution with 20 laps to go, though. I believe it's for Edmund Jones. Show you what happened. He's on board. He got turned from behind, I believe. And it's by Kenny Tripp. He's running 10th at the time. Now let's watch here with 19 to go if Steven's going to pit. I would not pit if I were Steven. This late in the race, a chance to win $50. Heck yeah, I would stay out. Hopes for something to happen with the top two, because you know they're going to race each other very hard. Kyle Johnson's made his way back up to the field in fourth. We haven't seen him. Talked about him since his first pit stop of the race. So, see what goes down. And there should be another double file restart coming up. Kendrick Pryor trying to play the mind games on McRecken. That number 18 ride, looking for win one of the season. But the 18 and the 17 are all teammates out of the EHP camp. So we are ready for this restart. Remember, in points coming on in. EHP 56 points behind, dropping bombs racing. And so they would love to see a 1-2 finish. Will we see the lights go off this time by? Yes, we will. So it'll be 15 laps to go when we come back to the green flag. And we stay single file for this restart. Very interesting to me. Martin leads Cryer, Rex, Johnson, and Sukup. Kyle Johnson immediately shows his nose underneath on Steven Rex for the third position. And Johnson takes the third spot into turn 3. Here comes Sukup underneath for fourth. The tires starting to fade for Steven Rex. Oh, one off track, it's Ethan Brewster. And we stay under the green flag with 14 laps remaining. And it will likely come down to the top two, and Kyle Martin and Kendrick Cryer, they want to battle it out themselves. Cryer has yet to lead today in this race, and he started all the way from 19th. 12 to go in Oxford. Johnson looking to regain ground. And remember, Cryer has 10 laps of fresher tires than Kyle Martin. Johnson the same amount of laps on his tires. Travis Sukup pitted on the same lap as Kendrick Cryer. So this could get interesting, and now Johnson starts to close in on Cryer. Remember why Kendrick Cryer went to the back for the feature. Tried the bump and run on Plemons, and he tries it once again on Kyle Martin. He tried to move Plemons out of the way, and then when Plemons spun, he actually took himself out too in the midst of it with 9 laps to go here. Gets on the back of Kyle Martin once again. Right on board here. Look at that spoiler, how damaged it is from all the bumper attempts from Kendrick Cryer. Cryer looks upstairs. Does he send it into turn 1? Yes, he does. He gets him a little bit loose. Here's the run for the 17 underneath. Martin better be careful. And Cryer gave him some space there. Ooh, Kendrick hit the curbing. Has a handful with 7 to go. And here comes Kyle Johnson in the number 95. Watch this closely. Kyle Johnson may be in the catbird seat with the way Kendrick and Kyle are racing. 6 laps remain, and it's a 3-car shootout at Oxford. Plemons and Sukup race for the 4th position. Cryer looked low, but Johnson gives Cryer a bumper. 5 laps remain. See if Cryer tries it out once again. There is lap traffic ahead. Don't know if there will be an issue coming to the checkers. We'll see. There's the bumper. He gets Martin loose. Johnson gets Cryer loose. Everyone saves it with 4 to go. And here come Plemons and Raymond. Remember the 57 looking for the 3-peat. Johnson loose off for 2. He gets around the 17. Cryer shuts the door. 3 laps to go. And Johnson loose off the 57. Plemons down low for 3rd. And remember, Plemons has 20 laps of fresher tires than the leaders, but he's leading on the 95. Back up front for the lead. 2 circuits remain at Oxford. Kyle Martin or Kendrick Cryer, make your pick. Cryer gives Martin the bumper. You know Kendrick's going to give a heavier bumper here this time. Kendrick hits a nose underneath. Kyle shuts the door. This time by, white flag flies. 1 lap to go here at Oxford. Cryer may put the bumper right here, but watch out for Plemons. Looking for the 3-peat. Cryer's going to get 1 last shot at turn 3. Moves Kyle Martin up the racetrack. Martin sideways. Cryer makes contact. Kendrick Cryer returns to win. And they go crazy further back. Plemons spins it at the end. Kendrick Cryer is back, though, in victory lane. 3rd win of the season for the 17. And how many laps did Kendrick Cryer lead tonight? 1. Only 1 lap led from the Wisconsin Dells native as he parks it in victory lane tonight. So let's pull up your official results here from the evening. You just expected the bumper to come, and it came at the perfect time for Kendrick Cryer for win 3 of the season. 1/4 of a second victory over Kyle Martin and Aaron Plemons. His chances for a 3-peat will end short. Kyle Johnson 4th, Travis Sukup 5th. Nice comeback for Aaron Raymond in 6th. Steven Rex looking for the back-to-front challenge 7th. Clay Bellamy from flipping to 9th. That's a good run for him. Nice job tonight for the driver of the number 33. He's looking at 11th through 20th. Matt Pelletier couldn't catch a break on restarts. And then here is 21st through 26th. Jason Snodgrass DNFing early. Snodgrass has had some good runs tonight. So it's time to talk with your top three. Let's see if we can get them into the waiting room. So we don't have Aaron Clemens in the waiting room, which means we will bring in Kendrick Cryer in the 17. Kendrick, welcome back, man. It's been a while since we've last talked with you. We had a feeling you were going to put the bump and run as you were chrome horning him so many times. Right place, right time. Just walk us through it.
Yeah, it was right place, right time, like you said. I did it plenty of times, and I knew one of them was gonna move him up the track. And still crazy they got second, but it was like 2000s. But it was a good race. A lot of cautions. I got involved in a wreck early, and I went in the pits probably 5 times to repair, and got back up through there, took some tires, and we had I think we had fresher tires than most of them, but we made it work and finished first. It was pretty good.
You're
Cal
probably
finished second. That's a good race.
you're probably aware of how many laps he led today, right?
Yeah, the most important lap.
Yep, that's it. The final lap. So, how good? I gotta ask though, how good does it feel to be back after the last time we saw you, which had a little bit of controversy?
Yeah, I mean it's been probably a month, probably. I think last time I remember it was late June. It was Richmond, but yeah, I don't really want to talk about that race very much. That was something that was interesting, but glad to be back. Glad to be back in victory lane. It feels good.
Well,
Got the 17, another good points lead.
yep, the 17 extends the points lead. Who do you want to give shout outs to on that car?
I think EHP Racing, Robert Colgan for putting on a show here tonight. It was I don't even know who else to thank, but if I forget anybody, thank you. And I want to thank Kyle's bumper for staying together.
All right, we'll let you go. Nice job.
Thank you.
Kendrick Cryer, our second place finisher. Let's go to this, or our winner, I'm sorry. Sorry, Kendrick. Second place finisher. Let's bring him in and Kyle Martin. Kyle, you expected it coming. Were you just hanging on there going into turn number 3?
Yeah, Kendrick was definitely on some fresher tires. He had also taken lefts at some point during the race, and I had just gotten caught up in some of the wrecks. So when I was getting tires, I was all the way in the back, so I didn't have time to get all 4. So he had some fresher rights or fresher lefts and rights, but he was definitely getting me turn center, or the center of the turn. So that did not help my case at one bit there. But good run to Kendrick. He definitely used my bumper well. I would have done the same thing to him, and he knows that. So it's all good and fun and games for the win. EHP 1-2, so I can't complain.
Respect, man. That's a lot of good respect. That's for sure. Um, so you probably just said it there. Sitting duck, obviously entering that white flag.
Yeah, no, I knew that was coming. So yeah, I just was kind of just holding on. I thought it was going to happen in 1 and 2. Maybe giving a shot down 3 and 4. But I appreciate him waiting until 3 and 4 if he was going to hit me that bad. Oh boy, I thought I was going off the embankment there. But good racing with him. It was quite the race here. I do got to apologize to, I believe it was the 33 who I accidentally sent down into the barrels protecting the lamps out there. Sorry, my bad. I got a little loose on the outside and I tail slapped him down there. So just got to apologize to him real quick.
Hey, you gave us something crazy to watch here on the broadcast. So, but who do you want to give shout outs to on the EHP 18?
Oh, I gotta thank lovely car owner there, Austin Edwards. Let me run his number, let me run his car. I gotta thank all of EHP, Kendrick Cryer for the setups, JR Button Boxes, JR Graphic Designs. They loaded me up with this nice fancy Toyota Supra today. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight. Well done.
Thank you. And thank you to the Colgan Racing Xperience for putting this wonderful show on.
Absolutely. Kyle Martin, our second place finisher. Unfortunately, we do not have Aaron Clemens with us from the sounds of it. So with that being said, that will do it for us. We will bid adieu here on this evening. So glad you all could join us here tonight. On behalf of everyone here at the Colgan Racing Xperience, led by Robert Colgan and his fine group of people, Maurice Callis signing off here for tonight. Your winner tonight here at Oxford Plains Raceway is the 17 of Kendrick Cryer. So long.